these strings, you know. You ever notice? I don't know if you're a chick, you know that some of the clothes put these strings on it. You're supposed to use these strings to put them on the hanger. Uh, I think it's funny. I don't think I don't I don't think I've had a closet since I made my own closet in Kingsburg, and I hate these frickin' strings because most of my clothes are usually just thrown in a pile in some drawer. So these strings are completely useless. They're so stupid. I really don't like them. So I am not drunk anymore. Those last three videos were funny, right? Yeah. I used to go to the bar. Well, I was going to the bar a lot. Uh, it's weird. Like I've been to different places. Like there was this coffee place I used to go to. Well, I didn't go there very much, but there was a coffee place. Their coffee was terrible. It was just terrible. They were trying to make this like, superior frou-frou coffee. It was just awful. And it wasn't cheap either. It was expensive. Like they were like trying to make their coffee more expensive than Dunkin' Donuts, which is my favorite. And I'm like, ew, this coffee's gross. But the place was cool, it had like a neat vibe. And it was funny. Funny thing too is the vibe was cool to me because it had like an outdoor area, an indoor area, and it had like these shelves, like with all these like board games. And man, I just loved, you know, I used to love to play board games when I was a kid. But the funny thing is, even though there's this cool place to play board games, I don't think I ever saw anybody playing board games when I was there. Mostly people just sat there. They were either on their cell phones or if they had come with somebody, they were talking to whoever they came with. They didn't really try to talk to strangers like me. And I didn't see anybody playing with the board games, which I thought was funny because I thought that was like one of the coolest parts of the ambiance was that they had all those board games. But anyway, I woke up. It's like, oh, it's 4:27 a.m. I guess today's Wednesday. I don't know. What if it isn't Wednesday? What if it's like some other day entirely and I just don't know? I have no idea. I don't know. I was hoping that I would get drunk enough and, just like go to sleep forever. But around 4 o'clock, I still woke up. What else is there to do but make this video? I can't think of anything else to do. No, I really can't think of anything else to do. Well, everyone's likes to talk about death. It's like death must be a cat. I'm thinking death must be a cat because you know how cats have like 1,000 names. Like I might call my cat Cece, but then when she goes somewhere else, or somebody probably has a different name for her. Fifi, my other cat, Cece's sister, she got adopted and she has a new name now too. Well, anyway, I think death must be a cat because death has a lot of names: coronavirus, AIDS, cancer, tuberculosis. There's a whole. I mean, I bet the doctor probably would be better at telling you all the names of death. It's pretty cool. I mean, death has more names than a cat. I think. Mm. Yeah, I was always like saying like, man. However they want to describe or name my death, I just hope that you know, I was always hoping that it would just be like, I just go to sleep drunk or not drunk, whatever, and just, not wake up. That's like, to me, that's the best death. I mean, you can't ask for a better death than that. I don't think you can. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe there's a few that are more exciting, like those crazy people who jump out of an airplane. They probably do that because they're like, oh, this would be a cool way to die. It's not. They're not wrong. I mean, I could see their point. Like you get that one last like adrenaline rush before you croak. That's not bad. But I just I just don't. I don't know. Like waking up this morning, I'm not like really upset about it. I'm not like hungover from the drunk and just thinking like, huh, well, damn it, I'm not, I'm not pissed that I'm still alive, if this is what you call alive. But it's just, I just don't think that jumping out of an airplane and becoming splat is like the best way to die. I definitely think that going to sleep is the best way to die. You just don't even know. It's like poof, you're gone. I think that's really cool. That's definitely in my opinion, that's definitely the best way. I know not everybody gets that, but I wonder if everybody wants that because to me that's the best death. My grandmother got that. Yeah, she had such a good soul and such a hard life that I mean she probably earned that death. I mean, she was like 85 years old, and that's the death she got. In her sleep. Well, anyway, that's the death I want. I mean, it's weird. Like I was trying to count like different deaths that I've had because there were like 9 that I could remember, but there's probably more. Um, I just don't remember them all. But the 9 that I remember, they were interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you have you ever died? Yeah, I've died. But it's like it's not the same when I say died, like it's not the same as just like going to sleep and then waking up. No, when you die it's different. It's like sort of like death's in your face and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to die." And then you're like, "Okay." And you accept it. And then sometimes it just spits you back out like and you're like, "I thought I died." And then you're like back and you're like, "Oh, I'm not dead yet." Okay. All right. Whatever. You just kind of just like keep going because it's just a weird thing though. If you've done it 9 or more times, um, it's hard to have any feeling about it. But I don't get offended by the word death. I get offended by all those other names for death. It's like I don't know if someone like has a pet like a dog or a cat, and they consider them family, then they kind of get a little irritated if somebody like if you have a dog named Fido and then somebody wants to call the dog Choo Choo and you're like, that's not Choo Choo, that's Fido, and you get offended because like that's like a family member to you. But that's kind of like how I feel about death. It's kind of like all these doctors and weirdos that want to call death all these other names. I get offended because I'm like, it's death. It's just death. His name is death, or her name is death. Death. It's not coronavirus or AIDS or cancer or tuberculosis or whatever else you want to come up with. And I just really have a really low opinion of doctors because they're the ones who love to change the name of death so much. And they are supposed to be healers, but they're the ones who dish out death the most. They love to like write death sentences. Oh, they'll write death sentences 10 times more than a cop. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Doctors love to write death sentences. That's the big joke, really. Like, "Hi, I'm your doctor and I'm going to help you and save your life." But no, most of the time they just want to write a death sentence and they won't call it death. They'll come up with some new name for it. It's really annoying because, like I said, if Fido's a part of your family, you don't want someone calling Fido Choo Choo. So it gets on my nerves.